Hey guys, Andrew here with Great Lakes Sprouts Media. Today we're at Shady Acres Farms with Aurora. She is a master florist and she grows a lot of different stuff here. We're gonna take a tour, ask her some questions about what she's growing and different things like that. So check it out, guys. All right, so we'll take a little tour of the farm here.
Yeah, I'll start over here by the Dahlias, and then we can end up over here with the annuals and everything we do for the U-pick.
Tell us a little bit more about the U-pick again. You said that's every Friday and Saturday pretty much throughout the whole summertime when the plants are growing?
Yeah, so pretty much we'll do it up until frost. And then we don't include the Dahlias in the U-pick right now, but they're really starting to go. So this year I planted 3,000 Dahlia plants, and then that'll turn into more like 10,000. And we dig those up and divide them every fall, and then really all winter we stay busy dividing them, and then we'll sell some, trade some.
You ever show me that big walk-in cooler you guys built, and you guys have a special facility to store them throughout the wintertime.
Exactly.
So they kind of go dormant, because if you left them out here they would die.
Right.
Too cold.
Or rot, like as soon as they got like a little wet and cold.
These hydrangeas here, do they, they say some with the pH, if it's like more alkaline, it'll turn like blue. If it's more acidic, more purple. Does that happen with those?
It's more the ones around the house. Those particular ones kind of turn more of like an antique-y color, but the ones that are kind of like that true pink or blue, you can do, add either a little bit of alkaline, or you can add a little bit of lime to turn them pink.
Okay.
But yeah, just the hoop house, we do like 3 seasons of flowers in here. And so, once this flushes over, we'll start doing things for winter sowing, because it stays warm enough that I try to do a lot of 3-season gardening as much as possible. So we'll put some seedlings and kind of baby those. And this year I'm actually planting 4,000 tulips too. So we do those in crates. Like I'll do a couple beds in here. So maybe I'll do like 1,000 in here, and the rest I just do in like those nice big bulb crates.
The tulips, you gonna dig those up too and like store them as well, or are you just gonna let them
what's wild is you really, when you use them for cut flower production, they really are the best the first year. So I personally save them, but you really don't sell them after that. So like what I'm gonna do is kind of start trying to naturalize them like in the woods and different places.
Gotcha.
So actually that kind of like real weedy area right there is all from saved tulips. And they did pretty good, but you just can't really sell them from year to year. But I just couldn't stand like throwing them away. It's like, of course I'm going to try to use them.
I was working at the city, they throw away thousands of them at the end of the year.
And then also the zoo, I heard, like that you can get like all kinds of good stuff at the zoo, like for bulbs.
Now, how do you stop pests and like deer and stuff from coming and eating your flowers? Do they mess with a lot of fall stuff, or
I kind of have like a peace agreement with them. So in the back I have deer feeders, and I feed them.
Okay, cool.
In the back of my property. So I feed deer, and then I also spray spearmint around everything. Okay. Like I have like foggers, and raccoons we had a problem with because they dig up like grubs, and so the raccoons I feed in the back. And then the birds, like actually to tell you the truth, the birds are what really get us, because like when we planted like that sunflower field, they eat all the seeds. It's like I always joke around, I need to have a scarecrow making party, and then just build like have 10 scarecrows in the field. Maybe that would work.
That'd be cool.
But really, like pest pressure is probably my biggest problem, because like the Japanese beetles are just insane. Like I have started treating the ground with milky spore, but it takes a couple years. But like in the height of summer, we come out here 5 times a day with just buckets of Dawn, and we can get 600 at once in one up and down, 600 at a time. Like it's just wild.
Just spraying them with the Dawn soap, like a mixture?
No, we hand pick them, and then we just we just put them in the Dawn.
Yeah, the Japanese beetles are bad, and those Asian lanternflies that are coming out now. I don't know if you've seen any of those, but
I haven't, but I heard they're kind of in Cleveland and stuff. Like
they're
a
up
couple of
there.
my friends said by the lake, maybe.
Yeah, they're starting to slowly come towards this way because I just saw the first one in my yard last week, but last year people saw them.
I heard they're crazy looking.
They are like ninjas. You swap it and it like jumps. It's like a fly.
Are you supposed to kill them like on site though? Like
That's what the ODNR was saying. Yeah, to kill them. There's I think with what you have here, milkweed, it's poisonous to them and stuff.
Okay.
You have such a diversity here that I don't think you'd have too much of an issue.
Yeah, because when I met with the lady at the extension office 2 years ago, that's when they really first started seeing them, and she's like, if you see any, you call me right away. And so now I think like in 2 years' time, they've kind of started to take over, more places.
What is this plant here?
So that is the same thing as what's in the hoop house, that Lysianthus I was telling you about. So like, once you get like one flower and you cut that flower off, it kind of forces the whole stem to open.
Okay.
But those last 2 or 3 weeks cut. I mean, there's been some times where I've cut a couple and forgot to grab them, and the next day they'll be laying there and I'll put them in water and it's like, you can't even tell. I mean, like they're just really resilient, and like florists love them for wedding work because they kind of look like a rose, but they're not as finicky.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
so when people come to pick their own, is it all through right here or that back area we were in before?
Yeah, so it's basically these 2 fields. This is a little unkempt, but this is all my peonies. So I have like about 150 peonies in the spring. So everything here is included in the U-pick, but like this year I did a bunch of winter sowing things here. So like the snapdragons, yarrow, status, I planted actually in the fall and I covered it all with frost cloth.
Okay.
And then you get an extra like, month and a half in the spring. So it made it kind of nice. Like that's the first year I've really done that, and I'll start doing that every year.
What's the first flower usually to pick, and what's the last to pick in the year?
So probably the first, obviously tulips, but I do a lot of like anemones and ranunculus.
Okay.
So just those kind of cool spring flowers. And then the dahlias last till frost, but I mean, some of the stuff's a little bit frost hardy where it'll keep going even a little bit after frost.
Nice.
But like one thing we do is when we know frost is like inevitable, we get volunteers from the community and they come cut everything and give it to nursing homes. So like I'll have
cool.
like 15 people come and sign up, and we'll just cut every flower here and just have like, just like a big party, and
That's
then
cool.
everyone goes to like 2 different nursing homes. Well, it makes it nice. That way like nothing's wasted at the end of the year too, and they get to all enjoy it.
That's awesome. Do you save a lot of the seeds from like, do you go around and like select like, wow, this one's got some interesting features, and you pick those seeds?
Yeah, I pretty much like, I love this like celosia here. So I save a ton of these seeds because like you can almost, hybridize your own from saving these seeds. So like out in the overflow field, I have a couple fields of that because that'll produce till frost.
That's really
It's
interesting
cool too.
looking.
Like this is because there's celosia, there's like plume celosia, but this one's called like coxcomb because doesn't it look like the top of like a rooster?
Yeah, it does. Very interesting.
But yeah, they're almost like either like a sea creature, and then they start to kind of almost like, some of them look like a brain, like they get kind of real dense.
Oh, that's interesting. You ever see the Bob Marley amaranth with like
Yeah,
looks
right.
like dreads?
Right. Yeah, I had some of that in the back. Yeah, it's called the dreadlock.
Dreadlock amaranth.
So every year it's like I try to add like a few more perennials to the
Because
area.
these will just come back. You just cut them down and
Exactly. Yep.
maybe spread some seed somewhere else.
Yeah. Well, next year I think that's about 8 acres. I'm going to do a wildflower and pollinator garden, and I'm going to do it like, I'm going to buy a bag of, native seeds, but I'm going to do it mostly just from these saved seeds because,
No, it's smart.
like I'll save zinnia seeds to the point where I'll have, maybe 5-gallon buckets full of seeds,
Gotcha.
which makes it nice.
Yeah, it's always threw just zinnias down, and they're pretty hardy. And would
Yeah,
grow
they
good.
are.
Now, does it help a lot with netting? Do you feel like you get a bigger flower with certain plants if you're using netting, or is that?
I find like I don't like working with netting, but I like this corral method a lot with a rope.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, just the wind here sometimes, it's like, it's like I've learned that the hard way, that you have to corral it somehow, because you know, like with that day with that really bad storm, it's like you can come out here and it just snaps
Yeah,
every
it's
single
this way.
one, you know. Yeah, so next year, the first year we had sunflowers here. It was a whole field of sunflowers, but I had a farmer kind of overplant it with a corn planter. So I'm kind of learning my way with this no-till drill, and I'm hoping maybe next year to have a nice big sunflower field there.
That'd be cool. Do you pre-soak the sunflower seeds before you put them out there?
You know, the ones that I do here, I do, but the ones out there, just because it's like, you know, 40
Yeah,
pounds,
so much.
you know, or 50 pounds, you really can't. But I do notice a little bit of a difference soaking them for like these here. And then in the backfield, I do a couple successions. So I try to do like every 2 weeks, plant maybe another 150, something like
Gotcha.
that.
If I used to grow microgreens, I would soak the sunflower seeds for 8 hours, and it would give me like almost a 99% germination rate. Nice
Oh,
and
that's
even.
nice. Yeah.
And it helped a lot.
Well, yeah, I mean, like the Japanese beetles are finally gone, but you know, for at least a month or more, you'd look at these. They wouldn't really affect the flower, but just all the leaves would just be like Swiss cheese everywhere.
It stresses them out.
But I did kind of learn that they love more than anything marigolds, and so next year I'm going to do like a trap crop somewhere, you know,
That's a good idea.
like over there, and just plant a ton of them.
And just get some chickens to come in and eat them all.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
There you go.
I would like to. It's like, I don't really like eggs, so it seems like chickens are like a big commitment if you don't really like eggs. But even just for the beneficial part of them eating the bugs and even
Yeah.
the manure and all of that, you know, I'd love to get some like free range, or maybe how they have those where you can have like a little traveling pen, you
Yeah,
know?
that'd be cool.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'll walk you wherever you want to go. But, you know, this, like for the you pick, yeah, they can pick anything here. And we kind of like guide people. We'll have greenery, and we'll go pick some like wild amaranth and mint and different things. And we
Okay.
kind of guide people like, okay, add a little bit of filler and, you know, pick some focal flowers. But interesting, like when I was little, my granny in Kentucky always had 4 o'clocks, they're called. I mean, they're supposed to, you know, open up at 4, but that's one of the main ones that Japanese beetles hate. So every year I try to
Okay.
plant some of those just for a little bit of a repellent.
This is clematis growing on here. What is this here?
So there is clematis here. Like, yeah, these are clematis, and this is actually a moonflower.
Oh, I just planted one of those, so it likes
Yeah.
to
I mean,
climb
they're
up
so
like that.
cool. And then one cool thing about those is they attract those Luna moths. So like at night, you can have some of those crazy like green moths flying around. You know, they're like this big. They almost
Okay.
like glow in the dark. Like they're really cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I wonder if you can see the seed in this. Yeah, see, it didn't go to seed enough yet, but it's
So
like,
is this in the nightshade family? Because like tomatillas
yeah,
produce the same. You ever had a tomatilla?
yeah, it is
Or
similar.
like the ground cherries, they're all in the same family as tomatoes, solanaceous. So
Well,
it's interesting.
I'll have to send you a little picture, but you can't tell. But once they're ready, it's called Love in a Puff because it's a perfect heart on the leaf. But they're pretty cool. It's like a little surprise. You know, you open this bag and then you just get like a nice little heart.
Oh, that's cute.
And then yeah, we got the overflow dahlias there, and then just kind of overflow. Those things that you see sticking up, kind of a funny name, but they're called hot biscuits. Like that's that amaranth, but florists go nuts for that, like
Hot biscuits.
because
which
it's like
one's that?
brown, you know. Well, you see it kind of sticking up like
Oh, all the way in the
tassels
bag.
back there,
Yep.
but it's like this weird kind of like bronzy brown. But like people just line
That's
up for
unique.
the hot biscuits.
No, it's cool that you sometimes forage stuff too around your property, not just stuff that
oh,
you grow.
a
and
ton.
it's
Because
kind of like being an artist, you know, kind
yeah.
of thinking, combining different things and painting the.
Well, the Queen Anne's lace is huge, and then also the, you know, goldenrod or saladago, and then ferns, Shasta daisies.
Hey, this is some of that Queen Anne's lace right here.
Mm-hmm.
Wild carrot.
Yeah, exactly. And then I love like it's about gone now, but there's also one called like it looks like this, but it's almost like a brown. It's like a chocolate. They call it like moss flower.
Okay.
But yeah, false carrot, and But one thing I discovered the hard way, and you might know more about it than me, but in the hoop house, there's some of that stinging nettle.
Okay.
And I brushed up against it by accident the other day, and like my whole entire hand blistered up.
Wow.
I mean, I don't know if I'm just allergic
it does that naturally. It's therapeutic, but Polish culture, they call it pokrzywa, but it's helps blood flow. So like a lot of people, if they're diabetic and stuff, they'll take the nettle and actually hit it where their varicose veins to get blood flow and go in there. But it will do that. But it's edible. It's in the mint family.
Okay, because I've heard of teas before, you know, like the stinging nettle tea, but I was just surprised that, like, it's not even like I grabbed it. It was like just literally just a little brush.
Yeah, and it hurts for a little while. It's like prickers, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I really appreciate you having us out here.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's beautiful out here. It's awesome.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, that's the nice thing about it is this time of year it gets prettier every single day because especially with the dahlias starting to bloom, in another 2 weeks, almost every dahlia on here will be blooming. So every of the 3,000 plants will produce at least 10 or 15 flowers. So I mean, pretty exciting.
I'll have to come out here and take a look at that.
Yeah, definitely. Or yeah, come do like a U-pick sometime. You know, you could.
I will come with my wife.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
No, thank you. Well, there we go. There we have it, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the tour. If you guys have any more questions, please comment below, and don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. We'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks for being here.